Let's say you're a company and you decide to combine something like this, a Steam Deck dock that's got USB ports, HDMI out, all of the stuff, charging, and you combine it with this, something like a capture card from AVerMedia. Oh, and then you also put an SD card slot on it so that you can record directly to the dock and not have to have a computer. Does that sound kind of crazy? Well, AVerMedia just released a product that does exactly that. This is the AVerMedia X'TRA GO GC515, and honestly, for everything that they're saying this can do, recording directly to this, but you can still do like a capture card to a computer, but it also handles all the other stuff. HDMI out so it can connect to your TV, USB ports for peripherals, you can still get PD charging up to 65 watts, you can record direct to a micro SD. Yes, I literally mean a micro SD card. Yeah. Let's get into this video. Quick disclaimer, no money changed hands for this review. AVerMedia did send this product out for me to take a look at, but they're not seeing it ahead of time. It's my opinion. Everything is just me on this. They just wanted me to take a look at it. But AVerMedia does want to give one of these away to you. And for you to be able to win, all you have to do is join my Discord server. The link is down in the description. Go to the giveaways channel and then click the emoji to register. It will announce the winner at the end of August 2024, and we will go ahead and reach out to you, connect you with AVerMedia, and then they'll ship one directly out to you. Thank you, AVerMedia, for sending it out for me to take a look at and for hosting this giveaway. Now let's get into the video. So here it is, the AVerMedia X'TRA GO. We're going to do an unboxing with it. As you can see, I have the Nintendo Switch as well as the Steam Deck. So inside the box, we just basically get a diagram on how to connect everything. It seems pretty straightforward. Just a little bit of information, but here is the dock itself. Now I have to say, I love the white aesthetic. I think it's fantastic. I think it's wonderful. The blue on the bottom. You can get this in black as well, just FYI. So let's talk about ports on the back of this. Over here on this side, you actually have where you connect it to your handheld or to your computer. Then you have USB-C like power. This is power delivery where you connect to your actual charger. HDMI out to go to your TV, two USB 3 ports, the USB-C connection if you want to use it like a capture card to your computer. The toggle switch over here is to actually toggle in between capture mode and card reader mode, where you can actually read the SD card slot. If it's over here, this is on capture mode where you can press the button and record. If it's on this side, this is where it actually will read just like an SD card slot reader on your computer. Let's go ahead and talk about specs. I'll put them on the screen. The two USB ports that are on the back, the USB-A ports, are 3.2 Gen 1. You also get the HDMI, which is an HDMI 2.0. You have USB-C connection to do DisplayPort alt mode. This does a max pass-through resolution of 4K 60 or 1080p 120. For recording resolution, you can actually capture 1080p 120 or 4K 30. And also there's a whole bunch of just LED indicators that'll tell you about if your card's too slow or if it's connecting, if it's recording. There's just a bunch of stuff. I would refer you or tell you to go ahead and take a look at all of those LED indicators that tell you kind of the colors of what you would see: disc almost full, flashing blue, solid red, etc., etc. That's something I would probably keep handy just so you know what the colors look like. For those of you curious, you're looking at the Facecam Pro from Elgato. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I just put this over here for us to do this shot. Anyway, everything is connected, and I'm actually on the Steam Deck connected through the dock. I have everything connected on the back. It's kind of hard for me to pick it up and show, but I'll see what I can do. I have everything connected, the USB-C to go into the actual Steam Deck. This is just power cable. It does 65 watts of charging, and if you have a charger higher than that, it will cap it at 65. This is actually my MacBook charger, but it works just fine. HDMI out. I am running USB-C to the computer, and card reader mode works beautifully. Literally just toggle the switch. It pops up as a card on my computer, just like I can read the card and pull the files off of it if I want. Really neat. So what we're going to do is actually see if it's in here, and it is. There's the X'TRA GO, and you can actually see it right here. It's under device default, and I can choose custom, and we can go to resolution, and we can see 4K, 1440p, 1080p, 720p. We actually get 1280 by 800, which is the Steam Deck resolution, I believe. You're able to get that changed all over the place, all the way down to 640 by 480. But just to confirm frame rates, we do get 4K, and FPS, the highest as we can get is 30. What about 1440p? So 1440, we can get 60. So that's actually really cool that even though you're only getting 30 with 4K, you can get 60 frames with 1440p. And let's also confirm 120 frames with the 1080p, which that is correct. You can get 120 frames with 1080p. The one thing that's really interesting is if I drop down to 720, I still can't get 120 frames, which is kind of weird that it's only locked under the 1080 spot, but it's kind of what it is. For capture formats, we actually have H.264 and HEVC. H.264 has a little bit of lag, as well as HEVC, which is what's interesting. I don't like that it's lagged this much between those two. If I click any, there's not even like an MJPEG option to be able to get instant. So as you can see right here, click, it's just moving in between. That's just kind of what it is. Even on 1440p under H.264, there's a little bit of lag. We're on HEVC now. It's less lag, but there is still lag. All right, we're on 1080p HEVC, still the same amount of lag. Let's do H.264. Still lag. Let's go up to 120 frames per second and see if we get the same piece right there. Still the same amount of lag. We'll go H.264 and we'll go HEVC. Same kind of thing. So using it as a capture card, I would probably not use this as real time. You're going to be looking at the OBS window. You're going to want to actually pass it through and watch it on a screen that has the pass-through HDMI out, because there will be delay on capture when just actually using as a capture card through OBS. Now, I know that that's not the intended way to use this. So what we're actually looking at is using it on screen right now. And I'm passing through to my nice 4K monitor here. There's zero lag, zero anything like that. And we're gonna see if it'll allow us to actually change resolution. So in the Steam Deck, which is what we're looking at now, you can barely see it, but I did hit record on the AVerMedia. Here's our test just to see if it's actually recording to this. As you can see, I can actually set the resolution to 4K 60. I can even go 1080p 120, which this display does support. So I'm gonna leave it on 4K 60 just so that we have the highest resolution to see if it'll capture 4K 30 on the device. That's what I'm really curious about. And then we'll do a test at 1080p 120 to see how that looks. Some of you who are on Steam Deck will be able to see, like, here's a bunch of Steam Deck stuff that I have here, and all of this stuff is basically Steam Link, which is basically how I use the Steam Deck. I don't install too much stuff on it. However, I do have Emulation Station for me to be able to play just emulated games. So we are going to boot up a couple emulated games to get some kind of visuals on screen moving. So what you're looking at is actually me playing Majora's Mask on the Steam Deck. It's just been emulating right now, and honestly, this is probably one of the best experiences when I'm emulating is on the Steam Deck. And it's not like I'm partial to it or anything, and Valve is obviously not sponsoring this video. There is no sponsor for this video, but I do love I love playing these old games. It's kind of like my nostalgia kicking in. Anyway, so what we're currently looking at is I'm looking at it on the screen. There is no lag. It looks really nice. It literally looks like it's upscaled to 4K. There's obviously some anti-aliasing and some settings that I could fix on the emulation side to kind of smooth out this. But right now you can see it's kind of got some harsh lines on it. That's perfectly fine. But what I really want to see is how it's going to look on the recording. So I did hit record on the AVerMedia, and what you can see is, if I can pick it up, what you can see is it's blinking red right here, and that's how we're actually knowing that it is recording direct to the SD card that I have here. Dawn of the second day. I'm literally just running around town talking about this, but what I do want to say is this can be used without connecting it to your computer. So instead of actually just connecting your computer and using it like a capture card and showing all the settings I mentioned to you earlier like a capture card, this does not have to be connected to your computer. Again, this does not have to be connected to your computer. You can just hit record locally to an SD card, and just go along without your business. What I really like about that is if you're at someone's house, you want to record, or if it's like in front of your computer, but you want to capture some footage and you're a person who's like a couch content. I don't know, but the fact that you can just hit record on the device, have it going, and it just be easy and clean. I like that. I think it's pretty neat. All right, I said I was going to test some other stuff. So what I'm going to do is actually connect the switch and see how that works. My switch is completely dead, but I have to show you that if you connect the switch and you put the cable on there, they've made a nice little notch in here so that the switch sits in here just really nice and neat. No problems at all. It doesn't feel like it's going to move around. This was a really cool addition for them to be able to do this. While I'm recording this, I just want to go ahead and say I'm touching the bottom of the device while this thing is charging. And when I was doing all that capture, I kind of expected this, but there is a lot of heat coming off the bottom of this capture card. So you probably want to put it on something that will like melt underneath this, because it does add a lot of heat coming out of the bottom of this. So what you're currently looking at is the Nintendo Switch, and I'll be honest, I haven't played my Nintendo Switch in so long, but I wanted to make sure I tested it for you guys. We're just going to go to the news just so I can kind of move around, maybe show a couple things, move, you know, have something moving on the screen so that you guys can kind of see what's happening. But what I really enjoy about this is that as easy as this was to set up, it was also really cool how they put it in the dock. So I want to show you that here it just plugs into the bottom of the Switch, but right here there's a little groove that is perfectly placed out to where you can run that cable through, and it allows the Switch to sit in here flawlessly. I mean, they literally thought about someone being a Switch user and using this for what they needed. So, you know, for what it is pretty straightforward. I'll obviously have the recording up so you can see what's happening right here. But I do want to go to settings, because this is actually a like base Switch, like original Switch that you could get. This thing is so old, but looking at this, we can actually go ahead and look at TV resolution, 1080p. That's the best I can get on this. I know you can go, maybe you can go higher. Someone comment down below. Can you go higher in other ones? But all you can set is to 1080p. And so it's currently recording to 1080p. On this, you've got the little red light that you can kind of barely see down there, but here's the Nintendo Switch. Let me talk about the things I like and the things I don't like about the GC515. Let's start with the dislikes. Number one, I think that the cost, which is something we haven't talked about yet, is $199 US. And for $199, you get a dock, you get a capture card, you get something that's designed specifically for the console, like handhelds in mind. And as beautiful as that is, I do think that that price point of $200 is just, it's high. For only a few dollars more, you can get an Elgato 4K X, which is going to capture up to 4K 144 Hertz, HDMI 2.1. You're going to get a lot more capture opportunities with that, especially when you have so much lag on H.264 and HEVC if you wanted to use this as a capture card. But this is a very niched product because it's literally designed with handheld people in mind. If I was to honestly price this around something, I would probably price it around the 150 mark, just because they also have the Live Gamer Ultra 3, I believe it is, that captures similar settings to this, and to make it competitive with their own product to kind of end up in that same area. Now, I do want to disclaimer that really quick and say that if you do want to pick one of these up, you can use, and this isn't me just trying to push my affiliate link, but I am saying that you can get a discount if you use my coupon code in the description to get anything AVerMedia off their website. Yes, it does support the channel, but the big piece there is it lowers the cost for you on this product. So you should go check that out. The second thing that I have a problem with is, once again, the capture. So if you were going to use this as a capture card inside your computer and you wanted to be able to actually use it inside like OBS or any kind of other capture software, that delay that happens inside OBS could be detrimental to make sure that everything lines up, especially your reactions to what's happening in the game. Now, in reference to the actual onboard captures on here, I like how all of these have actually had different bit rates, and the resolutions are changing with what you're trying to capture. So if it's in 1080, it's in 1080, if it's 4K, it's 4K. But in that same case, we are seeing 120 FPS capture if the device is set to that, and we are still seeing 60 FPS capture if the device is set to that. So I like how it's being able to automatically adjust based upon what it's actually connected and what it's outputting over HDMI, and capturing it and recording it local to the device. All of the bit rates are variable and adjusting based upon what's happening on the screen, what's more busy, which I do think is good. Now, if you're just doing it local recording to what's happening here, I'm going to be honest, I think that I was pretty impressed with the local recordings as you saw what was happening on the screen. Number three is kind of, again, this is me being picky. This is the little like a dock thing that I use from Moken. It's just for my MacBook. It has HDMI, micro SD, as well as SD card, power delivery, USB-C, and it's got two USB 3s and a USB-A, like USB 2, but it has right here an Ethernet jack. And I really feel like, and this is again probably like only 10% of the users would probably care about this, I would love to have an Ethernet port on this dead space that you have on the side that nothing is here. There's probably something important on the inside. I'm not opening it up, but I feel like there's some real estate you could have put that in and added networking to whatever device you clicked on. I feel like that would have been a really nice thing to add. And some people might be like, well, it's handheld, you just want wireless. Well, I mean, have you ever seen Steam games download on gigabit internet over the Steam Deck when they're connected to Ethernet? I mean, it's pretty magical. All right, let's talk about the good. Number one, the design. I feel like not only did they take into account what you were going to use, like the Steam Deck, or if it was going to be the ROG Ally handheld or whatever those handhelds, I feel like they've considered those as well as the Nintendo Switch just because of the cutout. So I think that it's a really good option when it comes to design. I love this white aesthetic. I think that this is just really sleek and clean, but the black one also looks fantastic. I don't think you're going to go wrong with either one when it comes to design. Also for design, the cables that they included, specifically this one, which is the 90 degrees on both sides, is so nice that they put it in this orientation. I felt like it was really like considerate of making sure that the ports weren't going to be blocked in a specific way. Loved that they included this in there. I also love that they put in a high-speed HDMI cable so that you could out of box just plug it into your TV, and also included another USB so you could connect it to your computer. I think the next thing to talk about is the capture quality. I do feel like it was really good. The file sizes were small. It wasn't using a lot of bit rate, but it did look variable based upon what was happening on the screen, which I really appreciated. And in that same case, I do like that it was 1080p at 120 on the SD card, even though I was hoping for 4K. And the reason I say that is it gives you an opportunity to be able to use any kind of slow-mo, especially if you are doing 120p content. It gives you an opportunity to do some really cool edits. And the last thing I want to talk about is just innovation. I think a lot of these companies that are making devices, you know, and trying to peek over the top of the market. You know, you've got Elgato, you've got AVerMedia that are in this capture card game making really nice products, you know, competing products that are coming into the space. But this is something that is innovative and kind of steps away from just making the next best priced cost capture card, but offering a tailored solution to a specific niche, and probably by some kind of research what was requested. So my third thing there is just to say, AVerMedia, props to you for taking the time to make a product that in the end probably won't sell thousands and hundreds of thousands of individual products, but will definitely solve a problem for a very specific niche user. That being said, if you want to pick up one on your own, please make sure you check down in the description, use the coupon code, or if it's at the time of the giveaway, which is from the day I'm releasing it, there's about 11 days of the giveaway until the end of August 2024. Make sure you jump in my Discord and then react to the actual post in the giveaway channel, and it'll ping whoever wins at the end of it. I'll connect you to AVerMedia. We'll get one in your hands. If you want to be able to find out some more about some capture cards, check out this video right here, and you can't forget to check out this one right here. Thank you so much, and thank you for trusting me with your time today. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.